Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Good. I don't have a Capri Sun today.
I love that.
They wouldn't sponsor us. So I said, no moss. Not on cam.
Oh, I have Taco Casa sweet tea, but I changed the cup because the cup's ugly.
Which is wild because we should be repping Taco Casa.
I love Taco
It's like
Casa.
my fave.
I
prefer it over Taco Bell.
Taco Casa.
Fight in the comments. Taco Bell versus Taco Casa.
Yeah, that's a fair debate.
I feel like
My kids prefer Taco Bell. I prefer Taco Casa.
Really?
Yeah.
And my kids would probably prefer surf and turf, sushi.
I mean, same.
Bougie,
Yes. But if we're
bougie
doing
selves.
fast food, we argue over that. I'm pretty sure the Taco Casa cheese is like wax adjacent.
But that's how you know it's good.
so
That's
good.
what I want. That's
It's
what I
the
want.
best cheese.
My guilty pleasure is them and like anything from the QT rolly carts.
Or Allsops.
Picture the East Texas piney woods. A clandestine meth lab empire blooming. 2 lawmen, 1 undercover agent, 1 Texas Ranger, walking the razor's edge between justice and corruption. That's the world of The Point, Dawn of the Texas Meth War, by N. Lane Aiken. Narrated by Chance Overton and the author himself. This audiobook dives into 14 intense hours of real-world danger, covert ops, and raw Texas grit. So pour a glass, lean back, and buckle in, because this isn't just a story. It's a ride into the heart of the meth war in Texas. Find The Point wherever you get your audiobooks, and tell them the Whiskey Bro sent you.
Allsops is
love
good too.
Allsops
Their taco
burritos.
sauce is amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
I just learned they sell it by the bottle.
Do they?
I bought it for stocking stuffers. So
Yeah.
don't be surprised.
Listen, Allsops taco sauce definitely tracks in your fridge.
I have a lot of sauces. I really love a sauce.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
I love a non-traditional.
spicy sauce.
Just anything. I like a little eclectic mix of sauces that no
Lots
one's...
of Korean,
Lots of Korean
some
sauces.
Allsops.
Taco sauce. I had
I love it.
an egg roll for lunch with taco sauce on it.
That sounds delicious.
And ponzu.
Yeah. You didn't put fish sauce on it this time, or is
I would have if I
Yeah.
could have gotten to it fast enough. I was in a hurry. I was trying to like brush my teeth, straighten my hair, get ready for y'all.
Well, you look beautiful.
I sacrificed.
Your hair looks beautiful.
Fish sauce. I
Did you color
washed
it?
it. No, I just washed
No,
it.
it looks good.
It's not the. Usually it has a little tinge to it, and that's from 12 layers of dry shampoo to cover up
it
the
looks
Camel
pretty.
Crush smell. So I washed all of that off. And
looks
so
pretty.
this is my OG color.
I like it.
Thank you so much for noticing.
I like it.
It's
I
very- just
usually
very
don't wear
shiny.
my curls on
I love
the
your
podcast because
curls.
my headphones and the curls are wild. But
I do always feel like I'm wearing bunny ears with these, which is good. Actually, I
Yeah.
have some hilarious feedback. Production will maybe get a laugh out of this.
let's hear it.
I hope it gets a laugh because this person meant it with like comedy and fun and lightness. But they watched the YouTube and your particular view, maybe you can cut to it so people know what I'm talking about. Someone said, it looks like you guys are like being held hostage. Like being held hostage and you're like...
This looks demonic from far away.
Yeah, it looks like-
what is that?
It looks like you're in a militia basement and you're like sending videos to people that you're okay. And I
Hey,
was like,
have you guys noticed that we are sending signals? Like, have you seen our hand motions? Come help us. Come
help us. We're trying to tell you the geographic code. We're like, turn left at the Allsips next to the Taco Casa. That's where we're being held. They,
Pretty brutal here. You don't even have a bathroom.
I've popped many a squat. I've popped many a squat on this property.
On the way here, I got the tummy rumbles, and I was like, not
hell
now. Not right now. Absolutely not. Can we go to the bathroom? We gotta lock it up. But it was really funny because I think just because of this like goat in the flags, and we love the setup. But someone was like, funnily, like, man, it looks like you guys are sending videos to your
POWs.
family.
That's funny. I love it. At least we have sustenance, as you can tell,
Yeah.
behind Ponyboy. Thank God.
Yeah, it's just your view kind of gives that. My view is very like promotional.
We're playing a lot of Mortal Kombat, drinking a lot of Red River Brewery, and come save us, please.
Actually, don't save us.
Send
We're
food.
fine.
Yeah.
Don't save us. They don't want to be saved.
Send some Allsup's taco sauce, please. We're out.
And so we are out of also in a burrito. Fry me a burrito. Maybe this is a niche audience that this will connect with, and then we'll talk about like real topics. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of a little show called How I Met Your Mother.
I love that show.
Okay, cool. So
You hate it.
No,
Okay.
no, quite the opposite. So I started. Sorry, I have to sniffle, and production loves me so much that they turned my mic all the way up for ASMR. So here's a free one for you guys. You don't have to join my OnlyFans. Send me $10. Anyway, so I started watching this little show called How I Met Your Mother on Netflix. I
Yeah.
never was into it. I never got the opportunity to watch it, I think, when it was on like cable television and in
Okay.
its prime, which is fine. So I started watching it as like my comfort. I feel like I'm taking charge by sharing that we're talking about dopamine today on the pod, but I would put it on as like my comfort show to like
Yeah.
help with my executive dysfunction. Like I would put it on and it would help motivate me to like do my laundry, be an adult, whatever. So I've been trying to watch all 9 seasons.
I love it.
And I knew that it was leaving Netflix December 2nd. So I was like, I gotta hurry up.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, go watch it now because it's leaving. And I don't know if it's like because it's day 2 of my cycle. I don't know if it's the moons. I don't know if it's some sort of astrology placement. But when I tell you, I feel like I deserve a check from Warner Bros. For the ending. I sobbed. And
I've never seen the ending.
Don't watch it. Don't watch the ending.
Is it terrible?
I now have a new litmus test, and that is who do you text after the finale of How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, well, it wasn't me.
Well, it's romantic related. I don't recommend that you necessarily
gosh.
watch.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Now I'm going to literally go watch it.
No. I feel like you need some space and breadth, and I feel like I shouldn't have opened my big, stupid, dumb, fat.
No, I'm going to
mouth.
do it.
No, absolutely not.
I love a good masochistic.
I'm going to keep you busy until December 2nd, and it falls off. That way you cannot. But long story short, I was like, I'm talking sobbing, and my daughter is like, Mommy, it's going to be okay.
I can hear her.
And then she goes, that emotionally intelligent little thing goes,
What are you about to call her? That sweet, precious angel.
Sweet Precious Angel goes, Mom, is this about the show or is it something deeper? I said,
You're like, stop seeing me.
I said, go to your room. It's bedtime. Snot coming out of my nose.
Oh, baby.
I'm
so sorry.
My comfort show has ended, and I need a new one. Someone send me a recommendation.
Yeah.
But also, if you too feel like you deserve a check, like some sort of governmental reparation, whatever they're called.
You guys are going to
I need a subsidy.
combine forces,
I need
create a union.
Yes, I need to unionize and subsidize for the last episode, the series finale of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. I mean, you know that I'm going to go watch.
Please don't. I don't
No,
recommend.
I love it. I'm going to.
I don't recommend that you do.
Okay.
We can talk about that off air.
Okay. Yeah, we will. We can unpack that shortly. Because Lord knows I can't make a good decision in that realm to save my life. So anything that helps me romanticize the worst possible.
No, I don't think this is why I'm telling you. Anyone who's seen the series finale is like,
Don't do it.
watch the series finale.
Well, I love that you got me into maybe a new pursuit of masochism. I'm gonna find out. Stay tuned. Maybe by next time we can talk about it.
It's really relevant for what we're talking about today.
Yeah, it is. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So dopamine.
We're
refer to
slanging
dopamine.
dope.
Yeah, we refer to dopamine almost every episode, I think. And I think it's because you and I have both become very keenly aware of our own pursuit of dopamine. Like, I have a fairly
Yeah.
relentless pursuit of dopamine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I am keenly aware of
Sounds
it.
poetic,
Yeah.
even though it will ruin your life.
Yeah. Well, because it's both, it is a very motivating neurotransmitter, right? Like, so this is all about brain chemistry, and we're going to kind of unpack what is dopamine, what is it not, what are healthy sources of dopamine, what are very unhealthy and easily come by sources of dopamine. So dopamine is a motivator.
Yeah, I just hear J. Cole's rapping, "The neighbors think I'm slinging dope."
Yeah.
And can that be the title of this episode?
I'm going to put that as on my footer in my emails. I'm just going to put really
Slanging
small.
Dope, slinging dope, parentheses,
Even smaller font.
dope, I'm so sorry.
I mean, my neighbor did call it the trap house.
Shakes up. Our children
Call it the trap
house. You kids.
Because they don't know what trap house means. They think that it means like the place where everybody's welcome and we always have a good time. And I was like, that's not what that means.
Which is actually what happens at the trap house. I'm not going to lie.
Right. But please don't call my house the trap house. Please. So tell me your, what are your initial thoughts on dopamine? Because this wasn't even a discussion. I kind of just told you, hey, this is what we're gonna...
And then she made the notes so small. In 0.5 font on the big screen.
Listen.
I'm totally kidding. I wish I could read off the definition, but I take my glasses off to be cute for y'all, so I just have to wing it. So what I've been told about dopamine is that it is the reward chemical. I think a lot of people get it confused with serotonin, which some people say is the happy chemical or the love chemical, which is technically oxytocin, correct?
Yes. So oxytocin is like the cuddle hormone, right? Mm-hmm. Dopamine is a very motivating.
Yeah. So the what I know from dopamine is related to my own relentless pursuit of adult ADHD and autism. And so you have your dopamine processing system is broken. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily so much that you produce or don't produce quote enough dopamine. It's that your processing system to that dopamine is not atypical or is atypical.
Close. So that is true for neurodivergence, more specifically autism.
Yeah. So I don't know what you normies are dealing with.
ADHD has less dopamine. We have a decreased supply of dopamine. Autism has a differential processing of dopamine. And the primary difference between dopamine and serotonin is dopamine is something that motivates us to change something or to seek pleasure or to seek reward, right? It is definitely a reward. It is that. It's all about anticipation, focus. I need that. Like, it's like a hunger, right? Like dopamine makes you hungry for something.
Yeah, I've never felt that.
And serotonin, so it pushes you towards, it's like a fuel, a spark, a pursuit, like it lights you up, right? It's the chemical of wanting. And serotonin is all about stability and satisfaction and sleep and being content with where you are. It's the chemical of being, right?
That sounds also poetic.
Yeah. But when we are in relentless pursuit of dopamine and our backgrounds, our experiences with life change the way that dopamine feels for us. So dopamine is supposed to be a positive motivator, right? But when we start to, we feel that dopamine is relief when we exist in chronic stress or chronic trauma, right? And dopamine feels like relief. It starts to become like a survival pursuit. Just staying alive is the drive, right? Just the spark is to even make it through the next day, right? So it changes our relationship with dopamine, where dopamine used to be like little bursts of go kill that saber-toothed tiger or go pick those berries and feed your family, right? And now it's like we all exist in some element of stress all day, every day, because the overwhelming amount of information that we receive on a day-to-day basis is relentless, right? And so we're constantly looking for relief. So for most of us, dopamine has become a source of relief rather than a source of motivation.
Because we're numbing?
Yeah, absolutely. So scrolling.
Doom scrolling.
Is a dopamine source.
Yeah. So it's changed from jumping off of a cliff, fighting a saber-toothed tiger, to how do I distract myself that I live in 2025?
Yeah, I think so.
How do I feel as numb as possible? and that is a reward to your brain?
Yeah, yes. I think absolutely that is a way to surmise all of that for sure. When we are in stable and safe places, serotonin is on the uptick, right? We feel comfortable in that space. But when, we've said something similar to this before, when chaos feels familiar, safety feels like danger. Right? And so our brain, like we have the wires crossed a little bit, right?
We've said before that some people will choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven.
Exactly. Like we will chase dopamine and we will deny like serotonin, right? Even though serotonin is what's supposed to make us just feel at rest and at ease and just enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? But it's never enough. Like we live in such a scarcity culture that we're like constantly chasing, constantly trying to get the next thing, constantly trying to feel the next dopamine high, the next reward, rather than just being content with where we are and what we have.
Yeah. I feel like most of the times I can absolutely relate, but then this is a particular instance where mightism, like I just get the luxury of like, I'm not necessarily a dopamine chaser.
But I think that's perfect.
I think it's perfect.
I think what you're saying as far as helping people understand why people who struggle with autism have a different relationship with dopamine. I think what you're saying tracks 100%.
Yeah.
And I think I even lump together neurodivergence a lot just because I feel like it's a little more comfy for like the palate, if you will. But like my relationship with dopamine is vastly different with yours. Right? Like it doesn't feel motivating for you.
You're
like
very
it feels
motivated.
Paralyzing.
You're always just like a motivated person. And
I'm like always doing the next thing, always fulfilling my schedule. And like I thrive in that space because chaos it's very commonplace for me, right? Like it has been for a very long time. And I got addicted to that busy cycle whenever I was in previous versions of myself that like wanted to not feel the effects of the reality that I was existing in. So busyness became my numbing, and it became like, then I got hooked on that dopamine chase, right? But for a brain in the ASD spectrum, you just don't have the same relationship with brain chemistry. Like dopamine does not feel motivating for you. And I think that that's something that's really profound and interesting. And I think, even in the journey of, I don't love to like unpack, pharmacology a lot, but I think medicine does matter. And I think one of the complicated nuances with treating depression when dopamine addiction is at play is not all antidepressants help with dopamine, right? And so sometimes when people have just been maybe undiagnosed ADHD their whole life, or maybe they've just existed with chronic PTSD their whole lives, and people try to treat them with antidepressants, it doesn't work. And then they're like, oh my gosh, do I have treatment-resistant depression? Now I need a mood stabilizer, which then mood stabilizers then further numb dopamine.
Ooh, man, I'll tell you what.
Because an overwhelming amount of dopamine can create like psychosis adjacent experiences. And so treating with the right medication and nailing down the right diagnosis is really important. And so I think really understanding brain chemistry is huge, because SSRIs have the most immediate impact on serotonin, right?
Yeah.
One antidepressant that really boosts motivation is Wellbutrin.
Yeah, but it'll make you see stuff in your car. Driving down the highway.
It's also, it can be...
You pull over, you'll be like, Avery, I need you to take the wheel. And Jesus, both of y'all.
Well, and it's because it increases the dopamine in your brain.
And then my brain was like, absolutely
this is too much. This is too much.
I'm not enjoying this.
Well, and for me, Wellbutrin made me anxious.
Oh, made me something.
I was wound like a top.
I remember looking at Avery, I was like, Avery, is the sky moving to you? And she was like, Mama, you good? And I was like, I'm not good. I'm not good.
And so I think that's such an important like aha moment that is worthy of tracking in your own journey with mental health. Like maybe paying more attention to some of the different aspects of your brain, rather than just saying, oh, she's sad, let's throw happy drugs at her.
She's sad, throw the sink at her.
It's more about like managing.
Throw the kitchen sink at her. At one time I walked into a doctor's office, they were like, ma'am, are you on any prescriptions? And I was like, where do you want to start? At what point do you want to start? And then Doc was like, I just don't know about all those. So maybe we just take some away.
Yeah, and I love that's how Doc does medicine, because I think so often that's something that we need to think about, is removing rather than just continuing to put Band-Aids on the side effects of all of these
Band-Aids
medications.
Bullet holes. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off. I did have a relevant question. I have a particular question about serotonin syndrome, and this may cross over into like all brains are very, very different.
Yeah.
Because a common hurdle in my community, my niche community of peoples, is that I myself have suffered from that, and it is really debilitating. And so I think sometimes, to your kind of montage at the beginning, like people just throw SSRIs. That's their first.
It is.
Which makes sense.
Especially in family practice. That's the go-to, right? Because the other medications feel a little scary.
They feel scary, and they have long disclaimers on them. You have to tell people, like, you're probably going to grow chin hair and you might glow green, right? Like, people get really uncomfortable with the side effects, which makes sense. But you can get something that I didn't know about called serotonin syndrome, when people automatically want to say, oh my gosh, your brain needs more serotonin, pump it full of it.
Yeah.
And then you do, and your brain, it goes into like, I don't know the medical term, so I'll let you describe it, but like shock like no other. I mean, I remember being in my bathtub with the water turned as hot as it'll go, just like shivering, shaking.
Okay.
Like, I felt like my guts were falling out. I felt like my whole body was in a vacuum and someone was squeezing it. And you're just having like anxiety attack after anxiety attack after anxiety attack. So I guess my question is like, what are some, this might be like a pretty over generic question, but like, what are some signs and symptoms to where maybe you're not a good candidate for an SSRI?
Well, I think serotonin syndrome, unfortunately, is a little bit difficult to predict, right? I think sometimes when people are on a significant dose of a SSRI for a really long time, they can get serotonin syndrome, or sometimes where you experience what they assume is that treatment-resistant depression, and then they throw another SSRI on top of it. So, a lot of times Wellbutrin is paired with Zoloft, or Prozac can be paired with, Lexapro. So a lot of times people are on more than one SSRI. So prolonged use, multiple SSRIs, dosage, there's lots of different things that could cause it, but it comes on fast. And it does look like fever. It looks like muscle twitching. It looks like your body basically just reject, like, hell no.
Absolutely not.
Right. Your body is just not okay with it.
Yeah. Mine was like a first go at something.
And you immediately got it?
I mean, like 3 days into the treatment plan.
Yeah.
But it just was not fun.
Yeah, it's very acute.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you experience serotonin syndrome, you need to get off of the antidepressant immediately. Sometimes go to the ER because IV fluids will really, really help with that. If you have, a lot of times people have like a benzo on hand, a benzodiazepine on hand for anxiety, like that can help slow down that stress response. I mean, it's a stress response because your body's like, absolutely, the fuck not.
What's so funny is that I'm so stubborn about I really wanted to heal. So I just kept taking the medicine because I didn't want to call my doctor and be like, because they tell you if you stop these abruptly, you'll die. So I was like, I can't stop it abruptly. I just got to push through. Yeah. Got to push through. And then,
that's so hard.
And then day 3 of feeling like I was actually going to die. Yeah. I remember calling and she was like, we should have stopped. And I was like, I didn't want to make you mad. I don't want to make you mad.
That's hard. That's hard. Yeah, getting there. I think everything that we've said about medication so far, and let me be clear, I am an LCSW. I am very educated on psychopharmacology. I cannot prescribe. I cannot make official recommendations about what you ought to or ought not take. I can make recommendations based on your specific history and what you've experienced, but the prescription and the ultimate decision is always going to come from a medical provider that can write prescriptions. I can just educate on the risks, benefits, what is the appropriate class of drug for a specific diagnosis. But drilling down what the actual cause of the problem is really important. And this is not like a advertisement for therapy, but I think a therapist working in conjunction with your provider is helpful because hold on. My eyelash is hurting me. My bad. Working in conjunction with your provider, like the integration of behavioral health and practice in medical practice is huge because it's very difficult to say based on a 30-minute conversation, like this is your diagnosis, right? So if you don't know what the cause of your struggle is in the realm of mental health, then see a psychiatrist or see a therapist, start to unpack what the different diagnoses that are causing your situation could be, because oftentimes it is something that has just gone missed or undiagnosed or has been misunderstood, and then we call it depression.
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
That was a Hamilton reference for any nerds who also listen.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the ways that we pursue dopamine in day-to-day life, healthy and unhealthy, right? Do you have any?
I just talked about that I avoid it at all costs, but I wouldn't know an example in my life because I don't respond the same, and I don't necessarily chase the same, I think. So I wouldn't, I don't know. Do you know one? Maybe you would know one. I don't know.
Your pursuits of dopamine? I think you doom scroll for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think you get lost in your, we all do. Literally every human being. Like, you and I, how many times have we been like existing together and we're just like on our phone scrolling? Like, it's nice to have company while we do that. But I think it feels like a comfort blanket, kind of like when there's not really a conversation being had, or when like it's filling the space, right? Again, when quiet used to be something that we would seek as human beings, sometimes we don't. The quiet feels really uncomfortable. Did you and I share this reel on Instagram, or maybe it's just something I saw on my own independently? I just usually, if I see a reel on Instagram, I assume you shared it with me.
I allow her to have independent thought.
But really you share a lot. And
every now and then I let her think for herself and advocate for herself.
There was an actress talking about how they literally have changed the way that shows like sitcoms or series are created, like the scripting. Like they will describe things that are like obvious in plain sight in the scene, because they have had to adjust to the fact that people are also doom scrolling while they're watching the show, and people need to be able to keep up with what's happening in the series, even though their mind is also on the phone. And so literally our entertainment is being rewired to accommodate our addiction with just constantly filling space with our phone.
That's sickening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what this actress was saying. She was sickening. Like, it's disgusting.
It's
like,
disgusting.
It feels so artificial to be like, oh no, that man is coming after me now. Like because we're just so distracted perpetually. What a sad thing.
I felt like a horrible parent because I had to make a really hard decision based on a lot of factors. So it's not just like a spur of the moment. I just like decided one day to be an awful parent, but I had to make a really hard decision to take screens and endless options away from my kids. And like, I genuinely bought a VHS player and VHSs and like
I love it.
DVDs because of just some things that were going on with my personal kiddos. This is a personal choice. No one has to do this. I'm not advocating for or against it. And then I hear stories like that and I'm like, oh, like maybe the doctor, maybe people are onto something when it's like,
Absolutely.
This is like changing the structure of your brain.
100%. And how we interpret everything around us, including art, which is really sad. Yeah.
And so now I feel like maybe I'm not as,
as
a horrible parent as like some people are saying.
You're not a horrible parent. Doing the hard thing, like, you know, what is integrity?
But it's so individualistic because like what affects my kids, my kids have my genes. God bless them. So, like, things have to cook a little differently because of the struggles that I have had and that they're having. And so, like, your kids may not need that plan of action.
Well, and my 3 kids don't need anything. I mean, they're all so different, right? That they all need different things. I do, I am very... My kids do have devices. I had to introduce devices far earlier than I wanted to just because of going through a divorce and wanting to be able to, and it was not a friendly divorce. And so being able to still have communication and things like that. So Maya doesn't have a device yet. I would love to postpone that. Yeah, my youngest. I would love to postpone that as long as possible, right? But I do have strong opinions about, frames per second and like how that stimulates your brain and how like if you're gonna watch something to wind down, it's not gonna be YouTube. It's not gonna be like let's turn on some like cartoons from the 90s or early 2000s, right? Because that's literally more calming for your brain than those short YouTube shorts. Like bam,
we're having
bam, bam.
fun singing all the songs together. Like we were playing Lion King 1.5, and I remember when that movie came out, and I was like, "Dig a ton, I'll take it." And they're like, "Mom, how do you know this song?" I was like, "I'm cool as shit."
Yeah.
Also, this came out when I was 12, and they were like, "Oh, I should have told them that. But
I think it's cute that you're doing that. I think that that's really
I don't know if it's necessarily cute.
I do. I think it's cute. I think it's nostalgic. I think it is familiar. I think it's helping them be more comfortable with serotonin rather than constantly pursuing dopamine. I think it's good.
And I'm also trying to and I know this sounds so silly. This isn't a parenting episode, but I think there is a dopamine correlation. I'm trying to hang out with my kids more, and set a structure around hanging out. Because I feel like I have just, everyone's version of chasing dopamine is different, but just tried to give my kids Starbucks and everything and maybe try and spoil them because I feel guilty about that I'm their mom. Sure. I'm like, you really drew the short straw. And then that's not making them feel loved. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I make them feel like they're loved and quality time and all of those things. So I'm just also trying to hang out with my kids more. So if you're a parent and you're you've been in the thick of just the parenting admin portion of what I like to call it. I like to call it admin central of doing the laundry and matching the socks and driving and chauffeuring and remembering kids' names and sometimes you forget to hang out with your kiddos. Slow down a little bit. Yeah. I've been really guilty of that, so I'm trying to course correct. I'm not. I love that. So I don't have any advice. I just have
No, but I think I think it is wisdom for sure, and I think that I think we all have to be learners. There's never, I was just thinking the other day, if I'm ever in a room where I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I don't ever want to think that I know everything.
I've never had that personal problem. Well, I've never really felt like the smartest person in the room.
I don't ever want to be there, right? I always want to be a learner because everything that you've experienced, your wisdom is so unique to your life experience. And we can never know all the same things. We have so much to learn from even our kiddos, right? Especially our kiddos. One source of dopamine is novelty. And whenever I talk about parenting a lot, I talk about offering novelty to kids to create meaningful memories, but that is very dopamine driven. We also have to do the just watching Saturday morning cartoons together or the very predictable, safe, routine experiences that promote serotonin, that promote safety.
What is novelty?
Anything new.
Anything new.
Yeah,
okay.
New, traveling, taking a trip with your kids.
Why my brain went backwards and thought of nostalgia.
I mean, because I think when you think back on your childhood, you probably have a lot of nostalgia or reverence for things that felt novel at the time. Yeah. Going to Disney World or going to the beach for the first time or seeing snow for the first time. Those are things that track in people's brains when they think about childhood. But they don't think about just your every Sunday morning,
right.
What that looked like with your family because it's predictable, because it's benign, because it doesn't create any feeling of chaos or stress in your body. It is comfort.
Yeah.
Right?
So would you say maybe comfort is the opposite of dopamine?
Yeah.
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 Okay, nice.
Yeah, because dopamine's a rush.
Together. Production's even we got some.
Are you digging it?
Some head nods.
Are you learning
production?
Too comfortable. It's kind of been a Whiskey Bros philosophy for a while.
Oh, I think you have to have a healthy blend of dopamine and serotonin for sure. Our brain chemistry there's a lot of different elements for a reason, right? It's not, the goal of what we're saying is not avoid dopamine at all costs. It's there are healthy sources of dopamine and it plays a role. It's definitely a motivator. It definitely keeps us aware of our surroundings. It helps us be better, do more. It helps us strive for excellence. But serotonin is also something, and oxytocin is also something that we should embrace and pursue as well, right?
How do you look for balance when it comes to dopamine chasing or just balance with the topic of dopamine? What are some warning signs that you're flying too close to the sun or you're not flying at all? You need to get off of your butt and fly.
Yeah, I think you summed this up beautifully unknowingly.
I probably did.
Last episode. Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
Last episode when you talked about the difference between happiness and joy, right? So happiness is dopamine in a nutshell, right? It's pleasure. It's temporary. It's often superficial, but you can find it in sex, drugs, alcohol, rock and roll, right? That's dopamine. And I believe that there are a place for dopamine sources.
So you're saying that sex, drugs, and rock and roll is therapeutic treatment?
I did not say that. I said Megan.
What I heard was
unlicensed Megan.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll is a therapeutic treatment.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll have always played some element of a role in my life. Good, bad, ugly. We can talk about
personal. For the people, we want you to know that
there is a therapeutic place for sex, drugs, and of course there's a therapeutic place for sex.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about very legal psychopharmacology. And you also know how, and if you've listened to more than one episode, you know how I feel about mushrooms. So I do believe in the power of that journey.
Are y'all slinging dope on the Whiskey Bros? Can we say
Just
we
whiskey?
sling dope with the Whiskey Bros?
Confirm or deny. Just don't lick the walls.
Dopamine. Dopamine. Are y'all slanging dopamine over there on the Whiskey Bros too?
Speaking of dopamine and drugs, did you know, listen, so I'm going to read these because this is not my brain. This is a different brain.
Is this like a multiple choice test? Or
No, but substances spike dopamine at unnatural level. So like
Okay.
a natural experience with dopamine, could be just experiencing something novel, right? Or experiencing something that makes you feel really excited and motivated. Like if you're like a very list driven person and you like check all the boxes on a list, you're like, fuck yeah.
My God, you're getting me revved up.
Yeah. Oh, if you create the perfect Excel spreadsheet,
Oh my God,
if
I'm
you
tingling.
get a reward or like a kudos or compliment from your boss, like all of those things are.
I wouldn't know what that feels like, but I would hope that it feels really good.
But
I love my boss, by the way.
those experiences with dopamine are far smaller or less impactful.
So you're saying
than-
that an Excel formula doesn't equate to like a line of cocaine?
No, it doesn't. Cocaine offers you 300 to 400% of what a natural experience with dopamine. Meth creates a 1,000%.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Now
which
I know
is why it's so addictive.
Now I know what to try.
No, please. God bless America. Everybody. Chance is very strict, and we do not take things out of our recordings. But you will not be trying meth. I think we've mentioned in multiple episodes this season why that's not a thing.
You armed me with the data to support that what I need to do.
We also acknowledge that an overwhelming amount of dopamine in your
I
brain
would
can
shut
create
down.
psychosis,
I'm
and it's
actually
very dangerous.
Not a good candidate for meth then, because if I had that much dopamine shooting through my body,
You aren't a good candidate for meth because it's meth. Okay? All right. Nobody is a good candidate for meth
Moving
because
on.
it's meth. Okay. But cheese can create 150% more.
You mean to tell me
cheese.
that you wrote
That's
a
why
list?
we fuck with Taco Casa.
You wrote a list down. I just want you to understand the dichotomy of this podcast is that this beautiful licensed triple thrice master's degree wrote a list down that had cheese and meth on it.
Yes.
Cheese and meth.
Yes. Cheese and meth.
Okay, so hit me with one more time cheese stats.
Cheese, food sources of dopamine create 150% that of like a normal
And do you think
experience.
that's because you're then running to the toilet after and that just like
creates a stress response? Some people have the opposite impact with cheese, which
stops
is my
them up?
experience. Yeah.
You're a stopper-upper?
Oh, I'm a chronic constipated
I'm a
bitch.
flower.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah, no, I can, yeah. I have to really pace myself.
I love that. No, I'm definitely not lactose intolerant, except for ice cream. Ice cream fucks me up. I'm almost 40, and in the last 3 years, I would say 5 years, I cannot eat ice cream without having a experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm like 5.
She went through 47 vocab terms in her head. I saw it processing live time like a Dell supercomputer, and she was like, "What word to pick?
We're gonna go with experience."
And she said experience because it's just everyone is gonna identify with that differently.
Yeah.
just like math.
We're just we're gonna keep it not nasty. Okay, sex creates a 200%.
You mean to tell
dopamine
me?
response.
No. You mean to tell me there's only a minute difference between cheese and sex?
Okay, but
You mean to tell me that my brain registers
but that's with just
a
dopamine.
Dorito Loco Taco Supreme on the same Richter scale as sex?
Okay, but that's just with dopamine. Remember,
Okay, that's right.
Oxytocin.
Okay.
Oxytocin is what we really want in the realm of affection and connection and cuddling and sex. So oxytocin, there is no comparison in the level of oxytocin response you get from cheese versus sex, right? But dopamine, yeah.
We studied it.
I would love to study.
Someone-
Just
production,
feed
Google.
feed me cheese, and make me come, and we'll see which one makes me feel better.
There's only a minute difference. There's only like a 10% increase.
Only with dopamine.
In the
Only with
difference between
Okay, we're gonna-
coming
hold
and
on.
having a taco.
That's what I wanted to know. Was it
Hold on.
was it the orgasm that counts towards the The release are
Well, the closeness period creates, because dopamine, and yeah, probably. I also feel like the first time you have sex with a new partner, there's probably more dopamine than like an established. Yeah, no, that's not what I meant at all. I meant like the chase, the pursuit.
That's
the chase,
why
the
we
pursuit.
very quickly slid
God bless
to meth.
America, you guys.
That's why we went to meth so quickly. Is because it was like that. I was like, I had a grilled cheese.
Sorry, I'm all tapped out today. No need for you, sir.
Like, our men just see us eating mozzarella sticks and they're like, I can't compete. Like, I just can't compete today. She went to Chili's. She had Nashville hot.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to look
sticks.
up oxytocin production
And cheese.
in cheese versus orgasm.
ChatGPT is reading this and they're
No,
like,
we're not
oh
using.
my God.
We do not condone ChatGPT.
We're feeding the robots everything about our
No,
psyche.
we're not. No, we're not. Absolutely not.
Every one of us is getting cheese ads.
Gee, I know. We're all getting Adam and Eve and Chili's ads right next to each other.
Okay, so just like I thought, cheese does not produce any oxytocin.
I want to know their sample size. We're women in STEM. I want the full data set. No, I believe you. Okay. So
Okay, but oxytocin, okay, and so if there's an actual comparison of, like, if you really, really love cheese and, like, you've bonded with your best friend over queso, you know what I mean? Like, then there might be some element of oxytocin response.
there is some time. There is some Facebook kink group that's gonna find this on YouTube and reach out and be like, we actually have.
My experience with queso and sex might be too close. Maybe that's why cheese was on my list.
No, you can't just drop that lore.
I just love.
Can we have any details?
Well, I mean, if I'm struggling, if you know, you know.
If you're struggling to finish?
No. Give me a tortilla dripping in queso.
Can we please have some parameters?
Oh, the visuals. I cannot. Okay, listen. I'm blushing, literally.
Hold on a minute.
Is it the whiskey or is it the conversation that's making me feel a little hot right now? Ooh, I can only handle so much queso and sex talk. God.
Instead of flowers, we're both getting sent just cheese stick bouquets.
No, not cheese sticks. I want
Queso.
tortillas and queso.
Yeah.
Butter too.
Casa Torres is
Butter it
getting
up.
some interesting calls later.
Yeah, I'll pass
this
on
week.
Casa. I love Casa Torres for a lot of things, but I really like Rosa's tortillas and queso.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you really love me, send me Rosa's.
Insider tip.
You can send the flowers too. I've made this very clear on
Insider
podcast episodes before. Do not stop sending the
Send
flowers.
the flowers.
I want the fucking flowers.
I want the flowers.
But I also really like tortillas and queso.
Tortillas and queso.
Ricardo Juarez, North Fort Worth.
Ricardo Juarez is a
yeah.
good one. Yeah. I'm going to ask, when this microphone turns off, I'm asking some questions. Y'all better believe. I'm reporting back next week. I'm asking some questions.
Oh my God, my phone is blowing up. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably
this isn't live. Well, no, you just got me all ready for queso and orgasms. I'm sending out the signal.
You're welcome to whoever is getting any texts.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I'm clapping for myself to change gears. That's not even for production. That's for me. Oh, I know. We don't edit anymore. We can't take any of this out.
We don't get to edit anymore. So I have to take like 6 beta blockers before we get here. I'm talking, I just chew them like Tic Tacs from like 8 a.m.
Sometimes you take them.
Sometimes I don't take them. And then when I don't take them, we don't get to use those episodes. Long story.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so let's talk about healthy sources of dopamine.
Thank
you guys
you.
have gotten, I think we've made some really meaningful points about what is dopamine, what is it not, like where are the unhealthy places. But let's talk about the healthy pursuits.
Thank goodness.
Sex is healthy. And
Okay.
so is queso. But something that's more sustainable and something that you can find on your own.
Please don't say running. Oh my God, are you going to say running?
Actually, when you're thinking about a runner's high, that's not dopamine.
Oh, thank God.
That's endorphins.
Thank God.
Yeah. So running is not on the list, but sunlight is. Have you seen the
Sun, have you ever seen? Have I seen the sun? Here comes the sun. I was personally sabotaged by the sun 4 weeks ago, and I totaled my vehicle.
That's true. Sorry, I didn't. That was. I'm sorry. There was probably some dopamine in that stress response, but it wasn't a positive experience. So let's not redirect the positive list.
Okay.
Okay, so sunlight. Have you seen like the people who spread their legs and like get a certain number of minutes of sunlight right on their genitalia every day?
No,
I don't do that.
This took a turn.
I don't do that, but that's a thing because direct sunlight is very important.
Just on the cahoons or everywhere?
Yeah.
Just in particular that spot.
Area, I guess, because it sees such little light, it like is like, ooh. It likes the sunlight. I don't think that's the scientific explanation. I think there's probably a more legit justification behind that pursuit. But sunlight is good. Direct sunlight, nature, connection, finishing small tasks. I'm moving on.
To all of our followers, don't do meth and sun your balls.
Oh,
and
yeah, for sure. That in a nutshell.
If you learn anything,
if you're going to be a degenerate, put your balls out. Avoid the meth.
Eat cheese. And sun your cahoons.
Yeah.
In any way possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what else is a really meaningful source of dopamine is play. Right? Like that's something like, and you talk about hanging out with your kids.
Yeah, no, I was going to go there.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Meaningful play.
Yes, meaningful play.
Yeah.
And so play is, Lennon being really hardcore into basketball and like seeking high stats and wins. That's not play.
Right.
That's competition.
It has to
that's
be
achievement.
something light and airy. Yes. You can't have any goal. I asked my therapist about this one time.
What is play?
I was like, this stresses me the out. I don't want to play. I never played as a kid.
Because I don't win. And real play doesn't have a winner.
Yeah. And
right?
so she was like, play is an activity where you have no KPIs, no goals, no stressors. You are just tinkering.
Yes.
So I think of a really common example, which I'll let you decide if this is healthy or not, but there's kind of this social media craze where women just go to thrift shops and go to antique stores and they walk around and they're like, the goal is not the fish we hunt, it's the time we waste. Because it's play.
Yeah,
like they're just playing, they're just going through things. This is not a targeted ad for antique shops.
No, but it should be.
But it could be.
But I have a blast. I don't know. I think there's antique shops do have like this really beautiful blend of nostalgia and history and learning and creativity.
I can confirm and people don't shop. They just come in, they walk around and they have fun. And I love it.
Buy something or I'm going to give you this Greyhound for $50.
I love it.
But Stuart Brown is a psychiatrist, and he says that play is a state of mind that is purposeless.
Yeah.
Consuming and fun. Purposeless, consuming, and fun.
Yeah.
So it makes you forget everything else.
Yeah.
And there is no like goal in mind. And you don't have to win. There's not a winner. There's not, you don't keep score. Right.
Right.
It's just
sometimes
fun.
like, because, I didn't have examples for dopamine. Maybe I do, because, like, I love a good, like, I don't want to do anything except for watch Star Wars, and, like, I'll let my phone die. Like, last night, I just let my phone die at, like, 6:30.
I love it.
And it was, beautiful. And I felt really bad for, like, the first 5 minutes of, oh, my gosh, what if people are going to be mad I'm not texting them back? And then I was like, no, I just didn't plug it in for, like, 4 hours.
People who know you know what's happening.
Yeah, because my people have my life 360, and they're, like, 0%.
I'm like, okay, so she was alive 57 minutes ago with a 2% battery, so we're good. We're good, guys.
She's probably Star Wars.
We may not hear from her for 24 hours, but she's okay.
She's
okay.
alive in the spot. But like my version of play can look like I love a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And just like it doesn't feel purposeless to me, because I guess I just have such a vested enjoyment in it. So I would hate to compare Star Wars to purposelessness.
But I think it is, there's not a time attached. There's not like, you don't have a necessary goal in mind. You can learn and play for sure. But like, the trampoline park is so fun. Like I feel like a child at a trampoline park. Like I love a trampoline park.
I'm like doing math in my head of their property and casualty insurance. I'm like,
that is not anything that's ever crossed my mind.
Really?
Never, not ever, not once.
Such a weirdo.
And I also love like water. So like going to the lake and skiing, or like skiing in the snow, or like being at the beach and throwing the football, or like looking for seashells. Like all of those things feel like play to me. But what I have to do a better job of is playing when I'm not on vacation. Like I don't think that I implement enough play. Like I think we play on the podcast. You know what I mean? Because we really don't have we joke about making money and things like that, and that would be amazing if that ever
so
happened.
Much money.
We are rolling in it from this podcast. But I think it's not purposeless, but there is no, like, we don't have these boxes that we have to check to make it feel like it's a worthy pursuit. Like, we just enjoy it and we laugh a lot and it's fun, right? I need to do a better job of implementing play. I don't know at what point in time I decided that like income producing activities needed to consume a certain number of hours a day for me. Maybe it's grocery prices. I don't know.
I know this economy.
But I want to take myself less seriously more often in the way of just like not giving a shit about the tasks that need to be done and just like existing in the present moment with my babies or with my people or whatever. Play is good. Play is a great source of dopamine.
Play.
Hiking. Leaving your phone elsewhere.
Dead.
Yeah. Cold showers. I know, I'm sorry. Everybody hates it, but it genuinely is. Like, even just the last minute or two of your normal shower, it creates a little spike of dopamine. And a true cold plunge, and I didn't have that on my list, but a true cold plunge has like 5 times the amount of dopamine as a line of cocaine. Like, it can be very euphoric. If you do like I've never done like a bona fide, I got in the ocean in October in Oregon. And that's the closest that I've been. Like, I've never gotten.
I can see that because all the cold plungers on the internet talk
so
about it
happy.
As much as the cokeheads talk about their coke. Like,
that's so true.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, if you go to a party with someone who does,
you gotta try this shit.
You gotta try this shit. Let's go to the bathroom. And cold plungers are the same way.
Yeah.
They push it just like Coke, man.
Like vegans. But they don't have cheese. I'm confused. I have questions.
I have so many. How are you guys coming if you don't have cheese? What are y'all doing? I think they have like cheese alternatives.
That does not work for me. I'm just going to say that. I'm a purist. We've talked about this before.
The cheese alternatives?
Cheese alternatives do not work for me. Yeah.
I've never tried.
Except for taco casas.
I've never tried. Genetically modified cheese.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of maybe tailspun us. So we didn't really get to like answer this question for the people who are probably curious. But we do talk a lot about the psychology and the brainwave of addiction. And where do you see the crossover between people who are struggling with addiction and maybe this like endless and relentless pursuit of dopamine?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of, for me, it feels like an obvious direct line, right? Because when we know, like when we can liken doom scrolling and constantly wanting to be enough with dopamine, then it's an immediate straight line to why we numb, right? What are we escaping? Because dopamine, like chasing achievements or chasing accolades, is a similar impact in our brain. Like, oh, for a moment we feel like enough, or hey, I'm going to get really fucked up and for a moment I'll forget that I'm not enough, right? Those feel very similar to me, and both fairly empty. Right? Because when you come back down from that accolade or when you come back down from that high or from that like binge, then you still feel the same way you felt originally. But genuine pursuits of healing and safety and stability create a more long-lasting effect of like feeling whole and feeling like you're enough. Right? So
do you ever get to the point where your brain or your body can do this and regulate on its own, or is this a lifetime pursuit of making sure you're properly balanced? You probably know the question I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And I think that there's not, and unfortunately, I feel like I always live in the gray. There is not just like a one size fits all to overcome like achieving that balance between dopamine, the pursuit of dopamine in a healthy or unhealthy way, and the pursuit of all of the other neurotransmitters that hold a very relevant place in our human experience. I do think it depends on your upbringing. It depends on your ACE score. It depends on your diagnosis. It depends on what medication you're on. But in general, I do think that it's something your brain can teach itself to regulate. 100%. We can practice mindfulness. We can go through different modalities and therapy to try to heal those trauma-based, trauma-informed parts of our brain.
Right.
Right. And so it can be a more natural thing, like getting good sleep, feeling comfortable in healthy relationships. All of those things support this more like homeostasis-driven existence. You know,
that's homeostasis. Yeah, that's where I was trying to go.
But it's a slow pursuit, right? And it's one that requires just a tenacious focus on being okay with being content with where we are right now. And that does not mean that we don't still get motivated and we don't still strive for excellence. But that means like in the absence of an immediate challenge or in the absence of immediate high, we still feel okay with who we are and we still are at rest.
Yeah. So maybe if you're trying to regulate. You're playing every other day or every day, but maybe you can get to a point to where you only have to play once a week, twice a week. Like those,
or what if play just comes more natural then, because you're not always fixated on dopamine.
I like that. Correlation is not causation.
Exactly.
Like it just kind of...
And then it just comes more freely. Like you start to take yourself less seriously. You start to put your phone down more, like without even consciously thinking about it.
Like it doesn't have to die. You just...
you just leave it.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Take an hour.
Actually hang out with your kids or the people that you're around rather than numbing, because it just feels more natural, because your brain, you know, it's like... It's the opposite of economics, right? Like when you take away that habit or that supply, sometimes your brain just starts to rely on it less and you need it less.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So, you know, dopamine is like the breadcrumbs of our life. Like if we're breadcrumbing ourselves, we're always going to chase dopamine. Right?
It's such a, like a, what is it? A buzzword in today's society.
It is such a buzzword.
Breadcrumb, being breadcrumbed.
Yeah. And if you just want to feel like a really erratic experience with happiness, all right. Pop your shit. Go chase that dopamine. But if you want to feel safe and content with your life, and you really want to have more emotional regulation, and you want to genuinely believe that you are loved and worthy, dopamine's not going to give that to you. I will always love dopamine. Like, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I want to feel things, right? But
You guys, she did not even feel anything as she jumped out of a plane.
Yeah, that was when I was in a pretty
like
dissociated.
She tried to Mary Poppins from 30,000 feet,
and I did not get an adrenaline rush.
And I said, "Were you nervous? Did your tummy hurt? Did you like have to shit your pants?"
Right before I jumped out the plane, I had a little like, ooh, but then like I was like, oh,
but she gets it from a cheese stick or a cheesy tortilla, so it's like her equate is like a cheesy tortilla skydiving.
Oh, so. In a nutshell, I think if you are feeling like an overwhelming attachment to dopamine, which I think most of the population does, you're probably just lacking some real safety and meaning and connection in your life. And so there are healthier ways to pursue it.
You just like didn't even take the banana.
So call your therapist.
She didn't take the banana out of the peel before she slapped me with it. Can you say that one more time for the people that need to hear it again?
Yeah, let's see if I can rewind my words effectively. If you are finding yourself in a constant pursuit of dopamine, you're probably actually lacking some safety, connection, and meaning in your life. Which we all are.
Cut the episode.
Which we all are.
Cut it. Just fucking cut it. Nothing else needs to be said. We're done.
I love it. Kidding. Well, that's not just a result of our own dysfunction. That's a result of society and social media and, you know, the scarcity existence that we have found ourselves in. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up my thoughts today on dopamine. Thanks for hanging out with us guys.
Were you telling me thanks for hanging out?
Yeah, or just like the audience.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking about cheese so much.
I love that that's the primary takeaway of all of the meaningful things I said. It's like Megan loves queso and fucking.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong, but I said a lot more. So thank you.
I just like anyone who wants to be your husband, I feel like should like Venmo me $20.
Well, I feel like it's pretty simple.
Like it does. Megan, what secrets do you want her to spill today?
Be consistent. And be authentic. Feed me queso. And yeah.
I gave you the whole cheat code. I gave you the whole code.
It's not hard, guys.
The whole code right there. Women are simple. We're not as complicated, I think, as men make us out to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always more complicated with a man in my life, for sure. Anyway, we can talk about that on another episode. All right, guys.
I don't even remember what our tagline is. I can't even clap.
We haven't said our normal tagline in weeks.
I think we need.
We were saying last season it was stay weird.
Don't do meth and eat cheese.
Eat cheese. Oh no, sun your balls.
Sun your balls. Don't do meth and sun your balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love vitamin D in all forms.
That's gonna get clipped. That's getting clipped for sure.
All right, guys.
I love you all.
Love you. See you next week.